According to this Wikipedia page I just opened, the Max Headroom signal hijacking was a hijacking of television signals by an unidentified person wearing a Max Headroom mask. This guy right here. It looks like he hijacked the signal and took it over at 9 p.m., was swaying erratically. I guess there was two. And in the first one, there was only a loud buzzing noise, but there wasn't any talking, and he was just kind of moving around erratically. And then the second time he did it, it was 2 hours later, a different station, and he made a bunch of references on seemingly unrelated topics. What on earth? The video concluded with the masked figure presenting his bare buttocks to a woman with a fly swatter while yelling, and the woman responding, "Bend over, bitch." The whole thing lasted only 90 seconds. I thought it was going to be a lot longer than that. There was a lot of references he made. They couldn't find the people responsible. The culprits have yet to be positively identified. I feel like I've heard about this before, and it's like still a mystery. Whenever this happened when? 1987. So it's been like almost 40 years, 37 years ago. Oh, here we go. Video. Let's look at it. Why is it playing? Oh, it's just a black screen. It looks like you can see the, oh, there it goes. I'm going to mute the audio for the video, but it's just like a weird buzzing, like a static buzz noise. What is going on with this corrugated metal? How did he even do that? That looks like in the 80s. Oh, wait, now it's gone. And now it's just blackness again. And that was it. I guess that was the first one. It's a little creepy, honestly. It's a freaking weird looking mask. So it looks like the engineers changed the frequency of the signal to like kick him off. That one was only about 30 seconds. And then 11:20 the same night, different station. They were playing Doctor Who. How could you interrupt Doctor Who? Okay, here's the second one. Let's look at the second one. He's a freaking nerd. I think I'm gonna check Swarovski. I'm very uncomfortable right now. Like, what is happening right now? Like the weird moaning. Clutch cargo, what's that? Something wet and sloppy hits the floor. I just made a giant masterpiece for all the greatest world newspaper nerds. My brother is wearing the other one. It's like something very unsettling about this. Oh, here's the bare buttocks. Oh, there they are. What on earth? And this is playing on live television. And that was the end. Jesus Christ. That was horrifying. I don't know, like he didn't do anything like overtly like sexual or anything, which I guess he could have done, but that was like just freaking weird. Creepy. Okay, let's look into this a little bit more. Unrelated comments and cultural references. Chuck Swersey. Who's that? Freaking liberal. He held up a can of Pepsi while referencing the Catch the Wave slogan from a Coca-Cola campaign. Oh, so he's like poking the bears. The real Max Headroom. Held up a middle finger inside what appeared to be a hollowed out dildo. I didn't see that. Let me see. I kind of want to open this in a new tab so I can look at this stuff a little bit more. Okay, so there's the hollowed out dildo on his finger, it looks like. Here's the can of Pepsi. Oh wait, no, that was a different can. Where's the can of Pepsi? Here's the can of Pepsi. And he says the Coke slogan. Your Love is Fading is a theme song for the series Clutch Cargo. And when he said, I still see the X, that's a reference to the last episode of the show. Sometimes misheard as I stole CBS. I kind of want to look that up. Can I just look that up really fast? Clutch Cargo, I stole the X. I stole CBS. Is there nobody who... Let's just try I stole the X clip. Let's try that. I'm not seeing a clip of it. Maybe it was just like a pop culture thing. You had to be there to know about it. He feigned defecating. Something about world's greatest newspaper nerds. Put on a knitted glove on one hand while commenting that it was dirty. And his brother had the other one. And then he's got his exposed butt. She's wearing a female maid costume. after a total of about 90 seconds. It's a lot that happens in 90 seconds. Okay. The technicians couldn't counteract the signal on the later one at 11:20 because there was no engineers on duty. So they just had to let it play because no one knew how to turn it off then. They attempted to take corrective measures but couldn't. Numerous phone calls from viewers wondering what was going on. Yeah, I'm sure. They're watching Doctor Who and then all of a sudden you got this weirdo Max Headroom. So what is Max Headroom? I'm confused about what he actually is. Like, obviously it's a character from something. So this is the Max Headroom character. Fictional character. The first computer-generated TV presenter, was known for his biting commentary on a variety of topics, arrogant wit, stuttering, and pitch-shifting voice. Can we look up a clip of Max Headroom? Let's see. What is going on here? Okay, this is... There's something very vaguely familiar about this. What do I know? I feel like I saw something on that Wikipedia page about how he was in Back to the Future. Back to the Future Max Headroom clip. Oh, here we go. Oh, it's in the 80s cafe. Maybe? Let's see. I thought it was this guy. No, it's not that, though. Does he show up in here at all? Oh, I'll bet he's on the wall of TV screens over there. Right there. I'll bet that's where he is. Anyways, not relevant. Just curious. So the people investigating it, nobody ever claimed responsibility. So some people think that it was a prank, was either an inside job by a disgruntled employee or by one of Chicago's underground hacker communities. Apparently the FCC was quoted saying the perpetrators were going to face a max fine of $100,000 or up to a year in prison. However, the 5-year statute of limitations was surpassed, so the people responsible for the intrusion would no longer face criminal punishment. So even if they came forward now, they wouldn't get penalized. Interesting. So that's the end of this article. But there's other broadcast signal intrusions. Let me look at this one. Do they have a video of this? Oh, here we go. Let's see the other signal intrusion. I kind of wish that they had put in the before and after, played the actual media that they were playing before the signal intruded. Okay, so here we go. Good evening from Captain Midnight. $12.95 a month? No way. Showtime movie channel, beware. And it looks like it just goes on like this for a while. So this intrusion lasts, it looks like 2.5 minutes, almost 3 minutes. I forgot to go over the methods. So it looks like the Max Headroom guy, it was achieved by sending a more powerful microwave transmission than the stations were sending themselves, triggering a capture effect, which is a phenomenon associated. Basically, if you're sending a radio signal to a receiver or some kind of radio dish, I don't know, then whichever signal is stronger will be the one that the radio actually picks up. Would have required a significant amount of transmitting power, and it had to be somewhere line of sight from both stations. The broadcast tower is on top of a tall building in downtown Chicago, so the other one must have been similarly placed on a tall building somewhere. So this would only have happened back in the day when it was an analog signal. Now that we've switched to digital signals, you can't just overpower the receiver. I mean, I'm sure there's other ways to hack in, but that is not one of them anymore. All right, let me look and see. Max Headroom broadcast intrusion. Let me look and see if anyone else has anything to say about it. Discovery Channel. Max Headroom signal intrusion. TV's strangest hack. Let's look at this. In 2010, a Reddit post got a lot of attention because a user suggested they might have information about the individuals responsible. The freaking scene? Chicago hacking and a freaking scene. What the heck is a freaking scene? Freaking scene. Slang term coined to describe the activity. People who study, experiment, and explore telecommunication systems. Term freak. Various audio frequencies. Freaker, phone freak. Term first referred to groups who had reverse engineered the system of tones used to route long distance calls by recreating the signal tones. I actually heard about this. Switch calls from the phone handset while avoiding long distance charges. So apparently back in the day you had to play a tone, when you wanted to make a long distance call, there would be a tone that would sound that would signal to the phone that a long distance call was being made, and then they would start to charge you accordingly, or something like that. But apparently if you had there was a device, some kind of little toy that made the same sound. So if you could get that little toy and play it into the receiver of the phone that you were holding, you could trick it into thinking that you had already paid for the long distance calls, and then you could just make free long distance calls. Freaking was especially prevalent in universities, where it began spreading much like computer hacking would in the following decades. So they're like the OG hackers. It's so interesting, but I feel like I need to know more about like actual like rotary phones and how they worked. Apparently there was like rotary phones that would get locked, switch hooking. So if there was like a rotary phone where the rotary dial or keypad had been disabled by a key lock, you could rapidly press and release the switch hook to open and close the subscriber circuit, simulating the pulses generated by the rotary dial. So if you clicked the hook roughly 10 to 15 clicks per second, separated by intervals of roughly 1 second, you could just dial numbers even if it was even if it was locked. It's kind of a fun, like, super old version of hacking. This is so random. So apparently, so there were tones that were used, and one of the ones that was used was this 2600 hertz, which causes the telephone to switch to think the call has ended, leaving an open carrier line, which can be exploited to provide free long-distance calls. So apparently there was this boy, Joe Igrecia. He was blind and 7 years old, but he had perfect pitch. So he discovered that whistling the fourth E above middle C was basically the same frequency, 2600 hertz, and it would stop a dialed phone recording. I'm not sure what it means that stopped the phone recording. He's considered to be the father of freaking. Anyways, this is not on topic at all. Anyways, the freaking scene. So there was this freaking scene and Chicago hacking, people who had the capabilities and were potential suspects. Reddit post claimed brothers J and K. He also said he knew their full names, but it doesn't have complete proof. Do we have this Reddit thread? It's a Reddit thread that calls out the Max Headroom intrusion 14 years ago. Or would that have been in 2010? Oh, edit. J and K have been formally excluded as suspects. This doesn't seem like the original one. Oh, wait. Update. Probably this one. Let's try this one. This post has been removed. Anyways, he talks about what they're doing now, career choices, hobbies, but it says they've officially been formally excluded as suspects, so it's a non-topic. The FBI and the FCC have both looked into it. The mystery and speculation have become more compelling than the actual story behind the intrusion, which, I mean, like, yeah, it's a fun story. Interesting. Who did it? It's a mystery. All right, I think that's probably it for this video. It's not something I need to go super in-depth in, but it was a fun one-off, so I had a good time. Catch you in the next one. Peace.